Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Michael here, and this week I want to talk about a project that I'm working on in this next year. So this past weekend I turned 39, and that may not seem like a monumental year. In fact, I don't really know that it is a monumental year. It's just another year until I embrace my 40s. But it feels like a liminal space. It feels like one of these transitionary moments where it's like I'm not old, but I'm not young. I feel and think differently than I did 10 years ago. The things that I used to be interested in, to some degree, I'm not anymore. It's just an interesting phase of life to be in. The things I'm looking forward to are vastly different than the things I would have said I was looking forward to 10 or 15 years ago. And it just kind of feels like I'm in this unique space where I'm looking ahead at what life will be like in my 40s, and at the same time looking back with a bit of nostalgia on my 30s. My 30s were good to me. Over the past 10 years, I've really embraced fatherhood. Not only have I embraced fatherhood, but we've traveled a lot. My wife and I and kids and I, we moved across country, taken on different jobs, worked for nonprofits, done marketing, done ministry work. It's been a lot of ups and downs, but as a whole, it's been a really good time, a really exploratory time. And I think I've kind of realized, sort of, if you will, who I am and who I am becoming as I mature and grow further and further into myself as a dad, a photographer, a husband, as an artist, as a creative, in all areas of life. I've wanted a project for a while, and I've wanted some way of sort of putting together the images and the things that I see in something that kind of resonates with me, but also in a bigger picture, what it means to be kind of like at this space of life. And so for the next 12 months, I'm going to work on a project called This is 39. And it's a simple project. It's basically just capturing what it feels like to be a 39-year-old person, someone who's not in their 40s, someone who's leaving their 30s, someone who has a family, someone who has heavy responsibilities and the weight of that, but also is finding joy and meaning in all of the little things. I just want to document what life looks like and what it feels like for me, but also maybe for others. And so every month, my goal is to share a handful of images with you, probably, 4 or 5, maybe 6, that were my favorite images from the month, that I think encapsulate what it means to be in this space and this time of life, and to kind of open up a conversation about what that looks like. And then hopefully by the end of the year, I'll have enough images. My goal is to have 39, appropriately, to put into some sort of photo book that I can present, to encapsulate this vision of what it looks like to be in this sort of weird liminal space of life, of age, where we're nostalgic to some degree of the past, but we're looking for the future and what will come. I've been really inspired by another photographer, a Japanese photographer. Her name is Rinko Kawauchi. I think that's how you say it. And more specifically, a book that she put out called As It Is. Let's see if I can show you this. This is a photo book that she published after she had a series of images from about 3 years worth after her daughter was born. And she just sort of captured these moments in time. And a lot of this sort of feels and looks like this kind of stuff that I already capture, like here's a moment of her daughter just kind of embracing and playing with some bubbles, and here's one of the shadows on the ground. Here's one of the aquarium. And what I love about this book is, like, I think anyone who's been a parent who has sort of lived in this time period of life, like the first 3 years, you can resonate with something like this. Like, this feels like your own memories. Like, you're looking at this photo book and you're seeing it from another person's perspective. But at the same time, it resonates with us because it reminds us of the moments that we ourselves have either experienced as a parent or maybe even as a child. And I think there's something really beautiful about that. But my goal is to kind of just put together 39 frames that I think encapsulate what it looks like to be 39, to be in this space of life where sometimes life is hard, sometimes life is difficult, sometimes it's hard to pull things together. Maybe you feel like you're running in multiple directions because of all the events and the things that your kids are in. And then sometimes there's this ethereal beauty. That's my hope, just to kind of document that. Originally, I was going to add all these weird parameters to this process. Like I was going to only shoot on a camera that's 39 years old, like, which is this Olympus OM4 Ti. It's a 39-year-old camera, right? And I thought, I'm 39, this is 39. We can do this whole project on a 39-year-old camera. But the more I thought about that, I was like, that's kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's cool. It's a cool idea, nevertheless. But I don't want to confine myself. I want to just shoot with whatever feels right at the moment. I might take some photos on film for a month or a couple of weeks. I might take some photos digitally and intersperse these two together. I think the greatest photographers, the gear is less important than the end result. You know, how everything looks together is really more perception of your eye than it is necessarily the gear. The gear simply allows us to capture the moments the way that we see them. I'll use this a little bit because I've found this fun, and I have some stuff to develop my black and white film at home, and I'll also shoot some digital. And every month my goal is to do another one of these episodes where I look through 4 or 5 frames and just kind of think through what it looks like for that particular month, what brought me joy, what brought me angst, what brought me anxiety, what brought me strength, and just to kind of show the images that encapsulate what it's like to be at this phase of life. And then by the end of the year, I'll have enough frames to fill a book, and we'll see what comes from it. Since I've been off of Instagram, I actually feel like I've had a better grasping of photography. I found a lot of photographers that I don't know how I missed them in my Instagram era. And some of them who are really contributing beautiful works to the sort of family photography genre. And I don't mean like, you know, portraits and things like that. I mean like documentary family photography. And I'm going to talk about some of those in some future episodes because personally that's what I'm really interested in, like more so than street photography or fine art photography. Like this genre of like family documentary is kind of the thing that I'm really the most interested in. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. I have several that I want to recommend, several photo books that I think you should check out, and several artists and talks that I think would help you develop skills and really think about how to capture images of yourself and your family, and maybe even work on a project like I'm doing, where you put all those emotions and feelings in your life and print them out onto something that people can actually see. Anyway, that is this very quick update. I have more things coming in the future, but I just wanted to introduce this idea since it is my 39th year of life. I wanted to introduce this little project that I'm calling This is 39. Thanks for watching. Go in peace, and I'll see you next time.